Hi, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo and happy catalog launch day. It's an exciting day. I am always pumped up when we have new products to offer everybody. Today, obviously, as I said, May 5th, 2026. And my name is Dawn Bourget. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who loves all the things. So before we get started, so what we're going to do today, this is a little different because usually I'm used to being on Sunday afternoons, but today and tomorrow I decided what I would do is go ahead and go through the catalog a little bit with you guys so you get familiar with the catalog. We've had some changes, which are all great changes, but nonetheless, there's some changes in there. And I just want to make sure that you guys are familiar with those changes as you shop with the new catalog and the online exclusives at my online store, all the things. And of course, reaching out to me if you need any help. But first of all, before we dive into the catalog, I just wanted to let you guys know about something that's going on right now in case, I'm sure one of the things I should say that you're going to want to add to your shopping list are our new in colors. So if you're new with Stampin' Up, every year we have 5 new in colors that join our family, and then 5 leave and they retire. So with that being said, we have 5 new beautiful colors here, and I just wanted to show them off to you. So I made these cute little, are those fun little 3x3 note cards that match each of our in colors here. And if you're wanting to get the ink pads anyway, this is why I wanted to hop on here today before everybody started shopping too far ahead and let you know what's happening with these really cool ink pads. So right now, you can get them for free if you decide to purchase a starter kit. I purchased a starter kit back in 2010. It seems very long ago. And when I did, I had some misconceptions about it and misunderstandings because I had never done anything like that before. I just knew that I wanted everything, and I had a very long shopping list of stuff. And I was like, I don't even know where to begin, but I want all of it. So anyway, basically what the starter kit is just helping you out with your obsession, your craft hobby. Maybe you're wanting to do a little, getting a little extra income on the side, but of course that's not necessary. But first and foremost, the reason why I caved and joined was because, again, I wanted everything. And I also love the community that I was part of before joining as a demonstrator. So I was in a stamp club, and yeah, and I kept getting told, Dawn, you spend so much, you could keep yourself going with this and get a discount on everything that you're ordering. And I kept saying no, because the whole thought of it kind of freaked me out. The gal who I was purchasing product from was a very active demonstrator as far as business wise, and I already was owning a full plus part-time, basically living my job type gig as an innkeeper. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I live my job. I work 16 hours a day. I can't, no. And she's like, you don't need to do it the way I do it. And I eventually caved, because she kept saying, I'm telling you, you keep spending all this money, you could get a discount. But the real reason, I mean, along with that, obviously, but for me, it was community, because I was part of a group. We enjoyed making things, all the pretties, and I love buying and building up my collection, right? What started out as my hobby as a little Rubbermaid container ended up becoming a big craft room. So anyway, I just wanted to run this by you guys before we dig into this, because as we go through this catalog and the online exclusives, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today in just a minute. But you'll want to have pen and paper. I'm a pen and paper girl. I still use a paper planner. I'm one of those people. Just give me a pen, right? I'm not very techy. But anyway, as you see things that you want to order from the store, the online store, this is something, this whole starter kit thing that you might want to consider, along with obviously getting some free ink pads, but it's something more than that. It's a community that you're joining as well. The Stampin' Up! Family, the Chalet Stampers community, we just have a lot of fun. And I love to support everybody, whether you want to just enjoy your hobby or go further with it. But see, that's not a requirement at all. And that's the biggest misconception that a lot of people have with this. So anyway, I just want to let you know right now you can get the ink pads for free when you purchase a starter kit. And then you can put some other goodies in there as well and shop. And then if you don't fit everything into your starter kit, you can then proceed to shop and get a discount on your things, continue being a happy shopper, and be part of a community that's bigger than just making things. Does that make sense? So anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on it, but I just wanted to let you guys know about it. It's very exciting. There's actually two options for the kit. You can either choose the $99 and you'll, if you want the ink pads, and then also shop for $125 a product. These are just thrown in. Or if you decide you don't want the ink pads, which I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't. Whenever the in colors are introduced, everybody wants them. That's like the main focus, and then everything else builds around the new ink colors. But if you decide you don't want the free ink pads, then you just choose, I believe it's $160 a product. And the really cool things, no matter which one you choose, you get free shipping. That's awesome because we all know that shipping is very expensive, right? But I want to show you guys. So this is my favorite color. I don't know which color you guys love. It's hard to choose, but these are brand new. Not only color-wise, but the way they made the ink pad. They are magnetic, which is very cool. So when you open them, they snap shut and they stay shut. They're easy, especially for people who have difficulties with arthritis and things like that, to be able to open and close these ink pads. So for now, we just have the 5 in this new ink pad with the magnet. My gosh, I can't even talk today. Goodness sakes. But they're talking of a color revamp next year, and we'll have all of our ink pads made the same way that these 5 are. One of the cool things that I've noticed about them, by the way, before we get into this, is that when I stack them on my desk and I'm working with these, they stay somewhat. I mean, they're not going to be difficult to grab, but I've noticed with the other ink pads, I'll stack them, but eventually it's like the avalanche that tumbles over. These do not. I love these. So anyway, if you're loving the new ink colors, and if you have at least $75 on your wish list, you may as well just go ahead and go a little bit further, get the free shipping, because that in itself will save you $12 to $13. These are normally $14 each, I believe. So if I did my math correctly, that's $70 right there that you're saving by choosing the 5 ink pads with your kit. So anyway, like I said, it's been a journey, and I think what I love most myself about being a demonstrator is, first of all, the friendships. Secondly, of course, discounts on my products so I can buy more stuff to feed my habit. And I don't know, and everything that matches. Stampin' Up! Is very color coordinated, which is right up my alley because everything in my world has to coordinate. Like, that's just, it's me, it's my quirky personality. Anyway, reach out to me if you have any questions. But today, a lot of things are going on. So along with this new catalog going live, like I've also mentioned, we have online exclusives, which also went live today. We have 2 new kits that I posted in both my group and here on my page that are new today. We have a new product of the month, which is a package of 12 by 12 vellum, which is beautiful. I posted that today as well. I did order it today. I will have it in just a couple of days. I expedited an order. And gosh, what am I forgetting? And of course, the starter kit offers. So today's going to be a little bit different. Like I said, I'm thrown off because I'm used to just going ahead and creating. But today what I'm going to do is go through like tips and tricks with the new book. And as far as it'll help you order online. And also I have a bunch of creative stuff I've made, a lot of card samples to show you along the way. So I'm breaking this up between today and tomorrow. Today we're going to go through suites of product and bundles. That actually is the larger chunk of the catalog. So if you decide that I'm like talking way too much, you don't have the time to listen to me, go ahead and I will post this on my blog and also on my YouTube channel. So you can go back later and watch the replay if you like, if you don't have the time to hang out with me as much, but I'm going to try to condense it as quickly as I can. All right. So first of all, again, our new book. So we no longer have an annual catalog. We will have 3 catalogs that come out throughout the year. And then in between the 3 catalogs, we have online exclusives that come out every other month. So we're actually, we have more product now than what we used to, basically year around. So that's kind of cool, right? And again, helps with when you get a discount. So as you open up the book, you're going to see everything all about the end colors that we just talked about. Hi, Jamie, how are you? And then as we get into the catalog a little bit more, they talk again about the product of the month, which is when you reach the $75 threshold on an order before shipping and tax. And if you do use Stampin' Rewards, just make sure it's still at the $75 mark to take advantage of that for $5. It's a deal. But anyway, it's cool the way they have this book laid out. I like the fact that it's now portrait and not landscape. It's easier to, I think, maneuver and to show you guys as well. And they kind of introduce you, in case you're new to stamping, some of the basics. I mean, the basics that you will need as you get into paper crafting, like a paper cutter, paper trimmer as we call it, some adhesive, and maybe a punch or two. Those true basics that will help somebody out who's a beginner. But as we get into more of this catalog, we get into suites. So it's categorized a little bit different than what we've had in the past because the book is a little, obviously, not quite as thick as what they used to be. They're going to average, I think, right around 80 to 90 pages. I believe this is 86. Yep, 86 pages. And there's a lot of samples in here, which helps for me because I love to be inspired and to kick off. Sometimes I'll purchase something and I love it, but then I don't know what to do with it. So the first thing I love to do is warm myself up with the product with the samples that are in the book and go ahead and copy them, case them as we call it, copy and share everything, right? Case it. So I love paper. It's so good to see you, Jamie. Thank you for hanging out. So anyway, with that being said, I have a whole bunch of stuff in a basket next to me, and we're going to go through these really quick, well, as quickly as we can, and show you some samples that I have made. Most of the swaps that I participate in aren't back yet. I think the post office is like weird, and we're not, like, they aren't getting they're sending their stuff out. Oh my gosh, words are really hard for me today. So people are sending in their swaps in time out the door, but the postal service is not getting it to the person who needs it to distribute and get them out in the mail, if that makes sense. Anyway, also, once again, I had this just laying here, so I thought I'd show you guys in colors. So this is Crisp Cantaloupe, which is a returning color, Barely Blush, Golden Glow, Peaceful Pine, and Hydrangea Hue. I don't know, which is your favorite? Go ahead and comment as you guys are coming on in. Also, this particular suite of product features all 5 in colors. What's really cool, you'll see down here with the suites that it will show you the colors that are in the suite of product, which is neat. And also they give you just a quick overview of what is in what we call the suite collection. So you can either purchase items all separately, or up at the top here, you'll see where you can purchase a suite and get one of everything. And that's what I call the gotta have it all button, right? So up here, this number here, and the price over here is for one of everything. Also, if you see an N like that, that means it's new, because we do have a few things that have carried over from our previous catalog, or catalogs, I should say. So anyway, Bloom Boutique. Let's check that out. Let's see here. Grab all my stuff. Okay. I should have actually taken these out of here. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. So Scallop Bloom. So this is actually a double bundle of product, which is pretty cool. So first of all, one of the bundles is called Scallop Blooms, and it has all the sentiments in it, which are really cool. Some very basic sentiments. And then this is what the star of the show is right here, why you're going to want it. If anything, get the dies. Like, these dies are fab. They nest within each other, and every other one has stitching in them, if you can see that, along with these dies down here. And they will all fit all the sentiments in the stamp set. Pretty awesome. So the price you see up here is what it would cost for the bundle, okay? But anyway, I wanted to show you that. Also, there is a second bundle, which is called Bloom Boutique. I was saying, I hope I grabbed what I was looking for. Yes, I did. Because I'm confusing myself, and I'll explain what I was looking at in a second here. I'm easily confused, but this is the double bundle in the suite. So this is just artwork on this bundle. The sentiments are awesome. And of course, we have the dies that go with. So what I love that Stampin' Up! Is doing now, not only will they have the dies that fit the artwork in the stamp set, but they also have some dies that I call like standalone dies that aren't like they jive with it. They totally match with it, but they will cut and emboss as you do so in your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, like this one here. This one here, and the leaf. Very cool. So it makes it really easy to look very fancy when all you're doing is running it through the machine. I love dies and punches because this girl right here, I'm a lazy crafter, and I don't do cutting or coloring very well. And this is the other thing. This is a 2-step stamping. So once you stamp this guy, you can take these, and these you ink up, you can stamp off, I would say, or second generation ink, as we also call it, to color in your flowers, which I'm all about that. Okay, so along with that, there is also, I'm looking for my other rubber band, it ran off. Anyway, what I was looking at also, we have this particular suite also features a scrapbook workshop kit. I did purchase this. I haven't had time to do it all, right? I really wanted to put those together so I could show you guys. But very cool. So what I was also going to show you is this, which is another bundle. So basically, it's not part of the suite, so to speak, but yet it is. Okay, I hope that made sense. So I'm going to show you this one as well, because I love this one too. And the sentiments in this one as well are very cool. And then also we have these dies, and I'm loving these huge flowers. So with that, I have somewhere, unless it already roamed. I knew that this would happen because my table is not very big. But I do have samples, I promise you. Oh, here it is, right in front of my face. So these dies, this is how big they are. So this is an A2 size card, which is a half a sheet of our cardstock and then folded in half. And yeah, that gives you a really good idea as far as how big they are according to an A2 size on a card. And then also, let's show you some of the other things that I've made with this. So there is the scallop circles. I think I'm going to be digging those big time. They're fun. And then like this die that also embosses, so to speak, as it cuts. So that's a good example of that. Here's more examples of, this is using 2 of the scallop dies together. So you're making just an outline of the circle. These may look familiar to you because I got some of these ideas from the catalog. Hey, Sue. Happy Tuesday crafternoon. It feels so weird to be on here on a Tuesday. But I was just so excited. I have to share this stuff with you guys. And I always say, if you're kind of indecisive on a purchase, then just hang out with me and we'll get through it, and then you can make your shopping list. I was going to call it a wish list. I call it a want list. Here's another one. So this whole suite of product, like I said, features the in colors. Now these may look familiar because on Sunday, 2 days ago, when I was doing a Facebook Live, we did everything about the in colors, and then we also made a few cards. This is a swap card. Who made this? This was Sandy Carlson who made this one. Isn't that cute? But anyway, so there's some samples for you along with that one. As far as the sweet, I keep forgetting the sweet names, Bloom Boutique. Bloom Boutique. Okay. Oh, and these boxes here, I haven't put them together. But this is the way they arrive. And it looks like the way you assemble them, you won't even need any adhesive. Win. I like that. Anything that's easy, I'm all about. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's venture on. Put this one away. So what do you guys think about that suite? Is that one of your favorites? Maybe. I figure it's going to be pretty popular because of the fact that it is featuring all 5 in colors. Also, just an FYI, now being that our catalogs have a different shelf life now, this catalog has a shelf life of May through August. But there are some products that are going to carry over that they're guaranteeing will be around for a year. This is one of them. This whole suite, I believe, they're saying is going to be, yep. I got little scribbles in here to remind me. I should just look at that. Anyway, so this is going to be a year-long product, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go to the next one. I think we have 7 suites and 15 bundles. But I can't remember if I counted the bundles that were carrying over or just new. But nonetheless, that gives you kind of an idea. Okay, Waterside Retreat. Let's check that one out. Let's see here. This is very cool. Oh, and I forgot too, just to show you guys, along in that suite, there's these cute little butterflies that are all in color. They're the larger and the smaller. Aren't those adorable? And then if you really don't like butterflies, or you just want to enhance the cards that you're making in the last suite, the Bloom Boutique, we also have the in color dots in all 5 in colors as well. Okie dokie. Let's check out Waterside Retreat. So I myself live literally real close to Lake Michigan. So water in my world, like, I don't know what I would do not living near water. It's just my thing. It's what I've known for many, many years since I've moved here back in, I think, 79. So I've been around here a long time. And so Lake Michigan to me is home. And with that, when I seen this suite of product, I just fell in love. And this is the Relaxing Waterside Bundle, which is part of the suite. So I'm going to take these out so you guys can check them out here. And I have some samples to show you guys as well. So of course, obviously, this is the stamp set and some nice sentiments, some cute little images there. And then we also have the dies that give you a couple of different options. So of course we have the dies that will cut out the images in the stamp set. You can also make, I should just get them. Let me grab them here. I tried to make sure that I had everything together with each suite. So for this card here, I just stamped and then cut it out with the image down here. And of course you have a book, you have the seagull, the birds, all those things that the dies will cut. Because again, I don't fussy cut, it needs to be easy. Oh, also, we have an embellishment I need to show you too. And then there are a whole bunch of images. Oh, I forgot. I have papers to show you guys. Oh my goodness. Well, that was silly. Okay, so let's backtrack really quick. I am so sorry. Like I said, I have so much going on in my head today. It's like, I want to show them everything. Okay, so this is the Bloom Boutique. So we're working backwards here for just a minute. I apologize. And then we also have in color pearlized specialty paper that complements it, or anything that you're working with the in colors. And then I thought there was another one, but maybe not. Maybe not. So we're going to put that over there. Anyway, so Waterside Retreat. Let's show you that. Now we're back up to speed. Goodness sakes. Oh, dear. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm a hot mess. So anyway, here are the prints for the 12 by 12 designer series paper. So what I did is I cut out some of the images. I know I did fussy cut. It wasn't my favorite, but I did it. And it actually came out really cute, considering. But anyway, so I just cut out the images here. And then as far as using these dies a little further, look at these cute little chairs, these Adirondack chairs. I love Adirondack chairs. They're cool. So anyway, so I used this die. I hope you, in fact, you know what? It'd be nice if I could see what I'm showing you guys. That would kind of help. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Alrighty. Good deal. Anyway, so I used this die and this die. The other thing that this is cool to use for on its own is a table. So if you wanted to put a table in between the chairs, use that die. And then we also have, you can change the chairs out so it either has a flat backside, or you can use this and make the chairs like I did here. Kind of cool, right? You have options. I love that. And then this again, stamped, and used this die right here to cut out the chair. Kind of fun. Also the seagull and the book. My downline, Debbie, made this card. This is actually an interactive card. Like it's a fun fold. So this flap opens up. I had already put it into the plastic, but I love this card. I love the paper. It's beautiful. And then this was also a swap card from Joey Hartman. And again, I love the Adirondack chair. I think it's so cool. Okay, so that is Relaxing Waterside. There's also an embellishment that goes with this. Let me show you those real quick. These are kind of cool. They're little inkers. There's no adhesive on them. They're just free flowing. but they're cool to use with like our linen thread to put on projects, whether you're hanging it on a tag, a bag, on a scrapbook page. They're nice and flat, or on cards, and they will mail easily. Excuse me. But I think those are pretty cool. And I think that covers everything Waterside Retreat. I'm going to put that over there. The funny thing is, you guys, I organized everything in this big basket, thinking, oh, I will keep it all tidy, because then tomorrow when I go through everything with you guys on the other stuff, everything will be in order. Ha ha. I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, okay, onward and upward. And again, just to remind you guys, if you just want to do the Gotta Have It All button, they show you what you get in the suite price, which is located at the very top. And again, they're showing the colors that are being used in the suite of product, which I think is so cool. Valley in Bloom. This one is pretty cool. This is a little newer to me. And honestly, I wasn't going to get the bundle. I just ended up purchasing, at least I thought I did. I don't think I have them with me though, but the embellishment and the paper, because I thought the paper looked so pretty, but I wasn't sure about the bundle. So I'm going to let you guys look at that for just a second. I'm going to grab some samples here, which I ended up having quite a few samples considering I wasn't going to get this at all. And what else was I going to show you here? Let me see something. Nope. You know, and the funny thing is I'm still getting to learn all the things, right? Anyway, the paper is beautiful. I absolutely love the colors in it. And I love the pop of the, oh, which color is this? Lemon Lime Twist. But there's this color too. What is this? How come I didn't list it? That's silly. I think it's not crushed curry, or is it? But anyway, I love the yellow pop in there. And then also the Blackberry Bliss. So let's go ahead and show you guys. And the projects that they show are beautiful. Now these cards, I had some inspiration from Lynn Dunn. I love her style, and I just went with it because I really like to use the product, get familiar with it, the paper, the dies, the stamp set, all the things. This die is very cool. In fact, I need to pull that out so I can show you guys. That would kind of help, wouldn't it? I'm so out of order. So I'll show you guys the cards first, and then we'll show you the bundle. And this one here. Oops, that one doesn't belong. That goes with another suite. We'll put him aside. He got a little lost. He was roaming around. But isn't that paper pretty? And then the sentiments that I did with the cards here. So I was using card sketches. And the sentiments are from the Bloom Boutique, which was the first suite that I was showing you. But I wanted to use the scallop dies again because I love them so much. But this, I think, is my favorite print right here. That is so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. And then this here. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you the bundle. So this one also has a embossing folder. It's big. It is like really big. And in fact, I thought I do. Oh, that's not going to be a good sample. Let's bring this one. So this is a sample in crisp cantaloupe. And I used this embossing folder, which is called the Floral Sprig. Like I said, it's a big guy for scrapbookers as well. And once I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I took my opaque white ink pad and just brushed it over. And this is how it looks. And it's so easy to do. So if you do have our white or an opaque white ink pad, after you do your embossing, just run it over slightly and this is the effect you'll get. I just love it. Anyway, so that is the big embossing folder. So if you were to get the entire suite of product, this is included along with the embellishment, which I don't know what happened to it, and also the bundle. So here's the stamp set. I love the font. It's just kind of, I don't want to say whimsical, but it's just kind of fun, different. And then the dies. I think the only one I haven't used is this. This is kind of like a background die, which I think is really cool. But a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I did end up caving and getting it. Okay, so that's Valley in Bloom, the whole suite with Lily of the Valley bundle. And then we have, oh, by the way, just to mention, if you're into the scrapbooking thing, this one does have the option to purchase a scrapbooking workshop kit with that same theme. And also there's a bundle. You can purchase the designer series paper with a sticker sheet, which is kind of neat. And then also our two-tone cardstock. So they've done that with a lot of the suites too, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, Scenic Coast is another suite of product. So again, if you want the whole shebang, this is the item number that you're going to want to use up here. Otherwise, you can purchase all these products separately. Now, what you're going to notice, and I forgot to tell you guys, is that throughout the book, you're going to notice they're going to show you the suites. Then we get into bundles, and then the bundles will also show the bundles that are in the suites. So it's kind of repetitive. And then also it goes into some stamp sets and all the other stuff. But anyway, let me grab Sunset Coast, which is a bundle of product, and show you guys the dies. So this was another one I wasn't really sure about at the time, but it's so lake oriented, and with me living where I live and for the amount of sunset pictures that I take, how could I not get this? So the stamp set and the dies, and what's really unique about these dies is there's a lot of dies that they're not part of the images. There's a lot of sentiments in this set. So with that, show you, first of all, since these are laying right here, these are the embellishments. They're sequins, they're adhesive backed, which are easy to use. I love that. And then also wanting to show you the designer series paper. I wasn't sure how to display this because I felt if I cut it down, it was going to totally not give the effect of the paper. So I decided to do it this way. So you can just thumb through it and look at each of the sheets that are offered in the 6x6 pack of paper. Now, actually what I did in my classroom area, I picked a few prints, 3 of them, and I put them in 6x6 frames. I had a kit, it was from a while ago, where we had those little 6x6 frames. I think it was they were plants or something. I don't know. Something anyway from a kit previously. And I decided, well, that kit isn't available anymore. We're going to take those out. We're going to put these in place, and they're white 6x6 frames. And they're beautiful. I had somebody ask me if I took those pictures. I was like, oh, I wish. But anyway, so that's the designer series paper. And then we also have some specialty paper that also jives with it. And it is the Sunset Summer 12x12 vellum specialty paper. Now, I know it's going to be hard to see it, but especially this one here, it's like a sheen to it. Kind of cool. You can see it's see-through somewhat, but not like some of other vellums that we have, I guess, that you might have used. But anyway, so that coordinates with that. And then of course we have the embellishment here as well. And let me show you some samples. Let's see here. Okay. Move these out of the way. So for this card here, I used the stamp set. I just wanted to be very basic, which is really hard for me. Usually I like to embellish it up with the embellishments, the ribbons, all the things. But so it's a flat card. But yeah, I think there's something about this I just love. And at first I didn't have this piece of designer paper from the Sunset Coast 6x6. And then after I added this behind it, I was like, yes, that's what it needed. Because I wanted to try to keep it as simple as possible, which is stamps, ink, paper, or as we call it, SIP. But anyway, you can see I used, well, not that one on this card, but these here for the reflection and the little sailboat and such, but very pretty. Here I used the lighthouse die. By the way, where I'm from in Ludington, we have 2 lighthouses. We have the North and the South Pier lighthouses. So we have one out at our state park and one right in town. And then just south of here, we have a lighthouse. Actually, a few. Like all along the coast, the west side of the state, we have lighthouses. So like I said, I could not get this. But anyway, I love this. Isn't that pretty? So gorgeous. And it's so simple, really. Just using the die that cuts out the circle, centering it with the designer paper. And the designer paper does all the work. Here's another where I did mostly is just stamps, ink, and paper, once again. And to get this effect here, I used this stamp all over. Because at first I was like, how am I going to do that? But yeah, so I used this and staggered it in the Secret Sea. I love that one as well. And then here is the sailboat. Isn't that pretty? And I also love this die, which makes the clouds. Perfect. And then I also used this die, which is like, I guess, like sun rays, which I think is so cool. And again, with this paper, it doesn't take a lot and it's like perfection. I just absolutely love it. So those are the samples with Sunset Coast. All right, let's go ahead and move along to the next one. So at this point, so far, do you have a favorite? Or is there something that is on your wish list? All right, the next suite of product is called Beautiful Ordinary Day. This has fun colors. Like this attracted me, like it drew me in right away. I love it. Let's see here. It is a double suite of product. Kinda. Well, no, I lied. This is separate. But first of all, let me show you the paper. And I know these are only 2x2 squares, but I felt it was a lot easier than to thumb through 12x12 pieces of paper. But it gives you an idea. It's so beautiful. It's soft, yet bold. I love the fact that there's some black and white, so it gives you options. You can use blending brushes, stamp and blends if you want to color, that type of thing with this paper. Because the back side, or I call it like the B side, is all black and white, and then we have color on the other with some fun patterns in between. So go ahead and give you a glance at that. And then we have the embellishment, which are these cute little dots. These remind me of years ago. This is a nostalgic thing, right? Years ago when I was young, actually before I moved up here, up north, My friends and I would ride our bikes to the local 7-Eleven store. This is going to really date me. And we would go and buy candy. And do you remember those dots? That's what this reminds me of. Those dots that were on the paper and you peel them off and eat them, and they were like rocks. I don't even know. They didn't even taste good. I don't know what the appeal was to those, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Okay. Anyway, this is the Bordered in Beauty bundle. I love this, but yet I'm perplexed on what to do with it. So I haven't really used the dies to their potential yet. But I do have, I think, a couple of samples I'll dig into in just a second. But anyway, there's a lot of dies here. Check that out. It's very cool, and I think it's geared more towards like, but not limited to, but for scrapbooking, right? Because they're larger, longer dies, which I think is really cool. But they'll work for card making as well. And then I love the borders on these. The border stamps I think are very cool. Like I said, I just need to dive in and play with these a little bit more. But nonetheless, and I love the paper. The colors in the paper are just beautiful. So with that, before I show you the samples, I'm going to show you here. These are the colors that are featured in the suite of product. And then also, we have another bundle, which is part of the scrapbooking. But again, I mean, I scrapbook a little bit, and I'm trying to get back into it a little bit more. But there is a scrapbooking workshop kit. And also you can purchase the designer series paper with a sticker sheet together. And if you want to go rogue and do your own thing or add additional things to what you make in the scrapbooking workshop kit, you can. And also, again, the two-tone cardstock, which I'm really digging. In fact, I really love the two-tone cardstock for layering on my cards because it's not quite as heavy as our cardstock. And being that it has two tones, it gives a totally different look when you layer one over the other. It's actually very cool. And if you guys haven't tried our two-tone thinking it's just for scrapbookers, no, try it out on your cards for sure. But here's Extraordinary Life. So this is a bundle found on page 30, down at the bottom. Like I said, I think that they're showing like the sample for a scrapbook page, but let me see what I can muster up for you guys here. And some of you may have seen some of these cards. So I was focusing more on the paper at first. In fact, I tell you what, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just show you this. So like this sentiment here would probably be better for a scrapbook page, but I love all this stuff. And this thing right here, that ampersand, I'm in love with that thing. I really, really dig it. I think it's so cool because it kind of reminds me of junk journaling and stuff like that. And then here are the dies, which are very cool as well. And they coordinate with a lot of the images that are in the stamp set. Okay, so showing you some of the things that I have made so far. Not a lot, but grab these. The stamp set, I think it's called, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. Something Flora, I believe, which I think right now is not available, but it will be returning. It's just they're temporarily out. But I love this set, the stamp set. The fonts are big and bold. And I did these on a Facebook Live a few weeks back. But this paper is gorgeous. It's, I think, one of my favorites. And then also, oh, I didn't show you these. So these are die cuts that you don't have to cut. Oh, they're not, here they are. They hide. They're hiding very well. But anyway, they're black. They're all just flat black. And against the colored paper, it is absolutely stunning. I love the way it pops, for sure. And these cute butterflies, they're a little bit larger of a butterfly than what you'll see in a bundle called All Aflutter, which also has butterflies. So you could mix and match if you wanted to. I'm sure Stampin' Up! Was hoping that we would. And here's another card. These stars, by the way, are found in the online store. In fact, they were part of Soccer, the Soccer Suite. I don't remember what that was called, but yeah. So I figured, oh, that'll look cool too. Let's mix the stars in there. And they're part black, part white. So the white stars, you could totally go ahead and use your Stampin' Blends and color them to any color to match your project. So here is the these little guys, the Floral Flight Accents, along with the stamp from that stamp set called Extraordinary Life. I had to peek. I'm going to learn these things yet, gosh darn it. Here's another sample with that paper, the designer paper. And this one here. Like I said, you guys, if you watch me on Sundays, these may look familiar to you. And then this one here. Gorgeous paper. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. So that is Beautiful Ordinary Life. And then we also have, go to the next page, Velvet Meadow. So this is when I wish we had Touch-A-Vision, because this paper is the coolest stuff ever. Let me show this to you first. And it's going to be hard to show you, but this designer series paper is flocked on one side and then flat pattern on the other. So as you can see, the patterns that are flat, they're just more, very, very subtle, quite honestly. And then these have a little bit of flocking on them. So they're fuzzy, but I love it. I love it. I love texture on my cards. I think it's so much fun. And I don't know if you guys can actually, it's like you have to feel it. It just feels fuzzy. But anyway, I'm going to have all these samples out. By the way, that reminds me, I'm having an in-person catalog kickoff this Thursday, 10 a.m. And I have a couple of spots yet available. So contact me if you would like to be there. I need to know by tonight. Also, here is the other, which is the Velveteen Assortment. This too is full fuzzy. So the whole thing is like flocked, right? It feels really good. Like I want a pillow made out of this. It's so soft. And it features the Bubble Bath White and Peaceful Pine, which is some of the colors that are in our designer series paper for Velvet Meadow. So pretty. And let me show you the bundle for it, which is called Flowering Meadow. And I was creating with this a bit last night and the night before. So first of all, here are the embellishments. They are super cool. They're adhesive backed, and there are two different sizes of flowers, which are in Bubble Bath White and Berry Burst. I had to think about that. It's like a quiz. And again, here is the stamp set and then the dies that cut out the images along with a few extras, such as this one here, these little tiny, oh, and these were a lot of fun to play with. I kept losing them. They are so small. But when you put them on the project, they really do add a punch. And then also there is this die and this die. That, like I said, I call them like standalones. They go with the set, but they're not an image in the set, if that makes sense. And we have some, excuse me, some fun sayings to go with them. And I have some samples for you guys. All right, let's see. Samples. Find them here. Grab them all. So the first sample is from one of my team members, Lillian, who lives in Maryland. Whoops, thought they were all going to tumble down. There we go. So this flips. Oh, it doesn't flip this way. There we go. There we go. Isn't that cool? Love it. And I love the punch of color with the Berry Burst and the Daffodil Delight. It just pops. Now, I would never think of putting these colors together. This is where the color coordination with Stampin' Up! Gets me. Like, I love it because they put colors together that I would never think of putting together. And when they do, it works. I love that. But anyway, I thought that this was such a beautiful card by Lillian. And like I said, I wish you guys could feel these. It's like fuzz of vision, you know. They're so soft. But anyway, I use the scallop circles once again. And this card here, so you can, I tried to use a lot of the dies in the die set, so you can kind of get a feel for all of them. Here is the leaf that will cut and also make that impression into the paper, as well as those beautiful flowers. Isn't that neat? And then this is a die as well. And then the die that cuts off the two larger flowers, and then this little thistle. I think that's what that's called. I'm not a good gardener, you guys, so bear with me on that. But anyway, and then also cut out the image from the stem for the thistle. This piece behind it here, this is a punch. I didn't get the entire bundle, but it is part of a bundle. I'll show it to you because it's fresh in my mind, which is this one here. There's the information on the rounded rectangle punch. I had to get it. Whenever there's a punch, I have to have it. Because again, easy peasy. I'm all about easy. And then here's another card where I stamped on Bubble Bath. I have to think about the color here. Bubble Bath, and Bubble Bath cardstock, and then the ink is Berry Burst. And again, use some of those little embellishments there. Isn't that pretty? And then this one here, again, where I cut out those cute little leaves. This is like, I think, one of my favorite dies in the set. I love that it makes that impression into it. And then there's this one here. Whoops. Uh-oh. There we go. I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't look right. That's because when I got done with it, I folded it wrong. But anyway, so folds out and flip. There we go. Isn't that cute? And then we also have this one here. Isn't that fun? And again, it's that fuzzy paper. Like I could just sit there and, yeah. Anyway, so there's some projects using Velvet Meadow. And then we have one more suite, which is Moonlit Floral. Now, also, just to talk to you guys a little bit about this, this whole suite of product. So if you do go ahead and decide to order, if you do place a $75 minimum order, I have a tutorial to give to you for free. It's a $30 value. It has 16 projects with Moonlit Floral, or Flora. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it floral. Moonlit Flora. So it'll kickstart your creativity if you do get the suite or have the paper or what have you. You can always substitute for other things, but obviously if you want them to look exactly the same, then you'll basically need it all, right? Here's the Moonlit Flora Designer Series paper. Funny thing is, this is a little bit darker color-wise than what I would normally be attracted to. However, I think I use this the most, this whole suite, for my swaps. So kind of funny the way that works. So I should never judge a designer series paper by its cover, right? But anyway, it is really pretty. And I love the pop, again, of like the Berry Burst and the golden glow in this one. Very cool. So let's show you guys the bundle. Here is the embellishment, first of all. Aren't those pretty? Love it. Clear, and I believe, oh my gosh. I know this is Secret C, but I can't remember what this one is. Maybe it's supposed to be garden green or lemon. Is lemon lime twist in this? I'm not sure. I wish, honestly, that they would put the colors that they use for the embellishments on the back of the packaging like they do with the designer paper. But, you know, I don't think they do. No, I don't think they do. Anyway, anywho, it matches, and I love that. And then we also have the Fern and Flora embossing folder, which is right here. If you decide to get the whole suite, so it's included along with the embellishment that I was just showing, and then also the bundle and the designer paper. So here is the bundle. This one has a lot of dies. Some of them are kind of tiny, but again, it's those little details that really make it, right? Especially when you're putting that card together and you add those little things. Here's another little itty bitty detail. So these look like little tiny bow ties, but when you put them two together and crisscross them, it makes a flower. It's really cool. But again, very tiny. And when you don't have real nails, it makes it really hard. So I have to use my take your pick tool a lot. Anyway, it's really cool. I love this standalone die within the set. This one as well is really cool when it's cut. So yeah, fun stuff. And I have some samples for you. All right. Let's see. Here we go. So this is the embossing folder that I was just showing you guys. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to get the glare on there. So that gives you a little bit of an idea. This, I think this was one of the cards we made at On Stage because we used this bundle at the Stampin' Up! Event in California. And here is another sample. This was made by my downline, Evelyn, and she used the white on white with that embossing folder. I love that. That's so pretty. And another card showcasing the designer series paper. And this one here, this was also made, I believe, at On Stage while we were out west. And that's where we had these, look at how itty bitty those dies are. Oh my goodness. And then this one here, whoops. And this is a swap card made by Marianne Grimmer. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. And then this also was a swap card made by Barb Mulligan. And she too used that embossing folder with the Peaceful Pine cardstock. That's gorgeous. Love it. All right. So we got through all the suites of product. Pretty cool. Lots of stuff, right? Like brain overload. And then just really quick, I don't know how we're doing on time. Looks like a little over an hour, but I haven't lost you guys too bad yet. You want me to continue? Shall we keep going? So then after the suites, we have bundles. And again, like I said, you're going to see repeats from the suites. The bundles that are in the suites are here, as well as new bundles and some that are carrying over. And again, you'll know if they are a carryover if they do not have that little pink in next to it. Oh, that's right. I got more things to show you guys. I think. Where did I put those? One moment. Okay, yes, I do. I do have them handy. Okay, so one of the bundles that I did not get, but a friend of mine did, my friend Kim, she made some really cool projects with the Safari Smiles bundle, and I wanted to show you those. This almost reminds me of the Lion King, right? And the elephants, so cute. I love elephants. When I went to Thailand for an incentive trip, that was something I had to do, was go visit the elephants at the sanctuary. That was so cool. Isn't that cute? And then this one here. Aww. So that is Safari Smiles. And that is on page 38 of the catalog. I keep wanting to call this a mini catalog, but it really isn't. We're just calling them catalogs now. Let's see here. Just for an example on carryovers, the gears and textures are carried over from the last mini catalog, because that was a mini catalog. One of my other favorites that's going to be around for an entire year is Balloon Festoon, and I have some fun things to show you guys with that, I think. Whoops, that's not it. Where did they go? Aha, here we go. Okay. First of all, I'll show you the stamp set and then show you the dies. Very cool. So check out the size of these balloons and how many you get in this set. So obviously, some of these balloons are going to be too big. Let me take the largest one here. I think will be too big for your card. Yeah, I mean, but we have the party, oh my gosh, what are those called? The party dies, the party banner dies, which would go really cool with the really large balloons. And I'll point those out in a second. But yeah, love that. I love the font in this. I think it's so fun and festive. And I have just a couple samples for you to give you an idea. So I use this on the balloon. This is very simple. I did have to put some twine on there. It was almost too naked without it. But I really like that. And then this here, I used that Beautiful Ordinary Life designer paper and then pulled from the colors to color the balloons, punch them out. Or not punch them out, but die cut them. Isn't that fun? And then also, you guys have probably seen this one if you watch me on Sunday. So this one features Blueberry Bushel and Hydrangea Hue with the smaller balloons. And I also used the Eyelet, this guy. The Eyelet Blooms Die. This is a product of the month for April. And I believe it's still available, so you can purchase it for $5 with a $75 minimum order. You can only get one, but you can get it if you haven't gotten it yet. But anyway, so I wanted to show you that one as well. This is one of my favorite cards that I've made so far with all the new stuff. And yeah, so that's Balloon Festoon. Whoops. Put this back away here. Uh-oh. That poor die was all by himself. Okay. What else do I have to show you guys? Let's see. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of the repeats. This is carried over the banner sayings with the banner punch. Oh, I have some samples for words and wishes. Let me see if I can find those in my basket of goodies. Here they are. Okay. Words and wishes. So these cards, again, were made by my friend Kim. And I thought I'd show them to you. So that's this right here. And this one. I love the colors that she used. Very soft. Right up my alley. These are my colors. And this one here. Isn't that pretty? So I wanted to make sure I did show those to you. And let's see. Oh, this is a carryover as well. Obviously, again, if it doesn't have that little pink N next to it, that means it's carried over, which helps me out when I'm shopping. And then these are those party dies I was talking about. Right now, they are not available, but they're coming back in. They were just out of stock for now. Oh, Olive Flutter. So this is one of my favorite bundles. And I have a few things to show you guys with it. Bring in all my samples and show you the stamp set, first of all. And then here is the punch. The punch is cute, but I say if you're gonna get the punch, just get them together, get the bundle, and then you get the 10% off. But it doesn't make sense to me not to have them both together. It's like separating siblings or something. I don't know. But anyway, with that, I wanted to show you guys some fun things I've been making. And I think I have a few swap cards mixed in between here. But this is a fun way to showcase our 5 new ink colors. I love this sentiment. I think that's so cool. And then there's this one here. This was a swap card, and this is using that specialty paper in the 5 ink colors. That's kind of like a pearlized something or another. I can't remember now. But I love the way she used the Fern and Flora. Fern, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, that embossing folder with the Moonlit Flora suite of product. And this was made by Candy Rattray. I love that. It's so pretty. And featuring the Golden Glow new ink color. This is another swap card that I received. Again, I love that she used all the ink colors. And this was made by Kim Williams. This was made by my downline, my team member, Kathy Rettenmeyer. And so what she did is she took the Beautiful Ordinary Life Designer Series paper. She used the back side that was black and white, and then she blended, I think, or maybe she used the other side. I'm not sure now which it was. But it looks like what she did is she took the black and white and then used a blending brush and blended the color in on that. I just think that that is absolutely stunning. Love it. And here's another of All Aflutter. And another one. And another. And one more. All kinds of goodies, right? I have a lot of inspiration flowing around here. Okay. And let me double check and see if there's anything that I was missing to show you guys today. I think that was pretty much everything. I just wanted to go through suites and bundles. Tomorrow we'll get into the rest of this. It's really cool the way they've put this together because now all of our dies are together. All of our punches are together. All of our adhesives. So as we get into this tomorrow, I'll show you more of that. But I do love the way it is set up. They've listened to us and it's kind of back to old school with the annual catalog. And don't panic when I say that this catalog retires the end of August. I call it the tools, the meat and potatoes that we all need for our crafting. They're always going to be in the back of the next book. So everything will carry over, like the charts for our 4 color families, the end colors, all those things will be repeated in the back of the next catalog as it's introduced. So I think the next will be what? Holiday stuff. Oh, isn't that crazy? Holidays, Christmas, all those things. Holy cow. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here today. Again, happy Cinco de Mayo. And if you have any questions or you want to grab up some stuff, maybe you have made a wish list, you can find me at the online store. Just go to StampItUp.com and make sure that you choose me as your primary demonstrator. If you have not even set up an account yet, make sure to do that. That will make things easier. So from that point forward, you just log in like you would at Amazon or something like that to shop. But tomorrow I'll be back here at 3 p.m. Eastern time to show you the latter part of the catalog. I won't have as many samples to show you because I did all that today. But I hope that this was helpful. And happy catalog launch day. Yay! I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.